We need to look at where we are. We need to learn from our good practice and also from our mistakes, and we need to develop a new agenda that is much more based upon reality and not rhetoric, and that's why this conference is important. So the outcomes of this conference will be a refreshed, reinvigorated, embrace with creativity, and one that's based on evidence and one that's based on context.
The creative economy is important for a country for a number of reasons. One, it is about culture, and culture is really, at the end of the day, what a country is about. A country is a creation, it is a piece of fiction, or national identity is something that's been designed, essentially. It grows out of culture. It's not really about geographical boundaries as such. They've moved around over history, and that's a cultural movement in itself. So the creative economy, because it's to do with culture, is at the very core of what a country is.
I think it's increasingly important in Europe because manufacturing is not as big a part of the economy as it used to be, as we've become a genuinely global economy. So many other countries can compete in manufactures, and therefore it's, I think, increasingly ideas that are the price carrier of the modern world. And I think through ideas becoming increasingly important, both for economic reasons and for cultural reasons, so there has been a recognition that the creative economy is a really important one. Now, it's much harder to capture because ideas are not tangible. Ideas can't be boxed up. Ideas can't just be replicated. So the economy of ideas is one where exchange and sharing is almost as important as selling. So it's a very different economy. But I think that for the developed countries, it's certainly being seen increasingly as a very important area for, as I say, both economic and cultural health.
Actually, it's creative industries that help the economies to climb up or climb out from the crisis much faster. Why? Because creative economy means products that are more competitive in the market. Creative economy means regions that are more attractive to live and to visit than without it. So it's very simply, it's actually investment into future that actually brings the economy out of crisis much faster than it would otherwise do.
Creativity is not just culture, it's also economy. And usually these departments, they don't work together. So that's a difficult issue. And they have to step over their own shadow and work together more, I think, to really use the potential of the cultural and creative industries. The second thing is, I think that a lot of people in policy making are already trying to make good steps and are already doing good work. And I think, for example, in Estonia, you see that they didn't develop a separate creative industry strategy. They said, this creative industry is an engine for growth. We have to put it in the innovation agenda strategy. We have to put it in the 2020 agenda. I think that's a very good way. Otherwise you say, like, this is a sort of separate sector and it doesn't help us, it's a sort of thing on its own, whereas it's really an important force for the whole economy and for the whole country, I think.
What Estonia have is people. We don't have much land, we don't have oil, we don't have whatever other materials. So what we have is really people. And creative economy and people are very much linked together. So yes, I strongly believe that this is one most important area or sector for our future economy?
Our responsibility from now on is to take the results from this conference to the European agenda. So we are not allowed to forget what we have decided here, what we've talked here, what we have agreed here. I will personally try to use the Italian manifesto in the European Union agenda, as we are about to publish a policy handbook for the developing creative industries in the European regions and the cities. So this would be the very first place we could use Italian manifesto and its results. It would be good then if in a year's or 2 or 3 years' time, when cities and regions and the governments around Europe, when they are thinking about the next steps in developing creative industries, think about some of the things we talked here this week in Tallinn.